look at the technology that's being used there, like we noted, the lunar module itself looks like something a bunch of kids built. I mean, it literally looks like someone just like stapled up like cardboard to the side of the thing, and it's got all this foil on there.
Yeah, the walls of the thing are like made of mylar or something. You know, it's like a couple mils thick or something. They actually said they had to be careful when they were working on it because if they like dropped the tool, it would go right through the bottom of the. You know.
Yeah, and it's supposed to.
And yet this is sent out into the vacuum of space where all it would take was a pinhole and you're instantly dead. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and of course
you travel for 10 days or what. You know, you travel around in this thing where one misplaced elbow means like instant death. You know, or one meteoroid or one anything. It's just. Yeah, the whole thing is just absurd, and you know, you mentioned being untested, and in fact, one of the most amazing things that I discovered was that the liftoff engine for the lunar module, the engine that supposedly took them off the moon, not only were never tested, they were never even fired up because the fuel was so corrosive that they could only be burned once, and then they were no good anymore. The whole engine had to be rebuilt. So they built these things in the factory without even, supposedly just built them and installed them without even test firing them and sent them up on the assumption that they were going to fire up the first time and get them off the moon. I mean, who is going to do that? I mean, that's just insane to even think that they would have actually done that, and then to have them work flawlessly every single time. Now we can't even build a space shuttle that they can launch without blowing it up. But, back then we could send untested engines to the moon and they'd fire it up first time every time,
And as you pointed out, too, apparently back then they had muscle spaceships.
Yeah, we got there a lot faster then, too. Yeah, now they're saying it's going to take a lot longer to... the arrogance of faking it is just mind-boggling, I mean, presumably they must have thought at the time, well, at some point in the future we're actually going to be able to do this, so we'll just make it as accurate as possible based on what we know now, and, it'll fit in later or whatever, But now here we are, 40-some years later, and nobody's ever come close to duplicating it. And if they ever do, it's going to be so completely different, Every aspect of the mission is going to be just so completely different than the way. That's one reason that even if we had the technological capability to actually do it now, I don't know that they would want to, because it would be so far removed, in any film they shot there, or any pictures, or everything would be so completely different than what was previously sold, to the American people that they almost really can't do it again. Even if we had the technology, which we don't, I don't know that they could ever do it again, or maybe with enough passage of time that people forget or something. And I don't know. How long can you sell that story? That's one of the things I point out. What if another 50 years go by and we, after 100 years, are people are then they going to wake up? Are they going to look back and go, how the hell did we do that back then? With the technology we have.
Yeah. I mean, our advanced technology
that story has a certain shelf life that it can't live on forever without ever being duplicated. So it was a pretty arrogant move to fake it, and at some point you would think it's going to come back and bite them in the butt, but who knows? They have the ability to sell almost anything to the American people these days, it seems. So, well, maybe this will finally be the straw that broke the camel's back, because there's no way anybody's going to believe this.
Here we go. Keep it taut. Attaboy. Okay, we're coming up here, 45. Up to, easy, Jim, easy. Okay. Here, let me help you. Take it easy. Take it easy. Give me a hand. Okay, come on up. Up we go. Come on, easy. Just got it. Okay, just stand out real easy. Forget the pictures. Just pull real easy right there. Okay? Let's go easy now. Good. Pretty sporty there, Sam. Pretty sporty there, Jim. Okay? exits are unlocked again, is that right?
They're supposed to be unlocked now, Dave.
That point? They're supposed to be. Dave? Oh, okay. Once you see those things unlocked up there in the stowed position, it doesn't give you a good feeling. Looks like she's coming down okay. Hey, can you pull it out a little bit, Jim? About that looks good. Okay, that's good. Now bigger hand. The one over there. Okay, outrigger cable's up there. What's the loop? Hey, what's the glass ball? Raj, I got it. The outrigger cable is loose and off. Okay. Okay, let's come down with the left tape. Easy does it. It's coming okay. Okay. Okay, looks like it's loose to me. Okay. That's good. Okay. Let's just go put the... Come on over. Man, this thing's nice and light. Check the old hinge pins. Out. Spin out. Let's see. Get a hinge pin out. I'm going to get you the tool. Maybe you can reach it, Jim. Maybe I can reach it. Hey, Jim. Yeah. Need you to get this hinge pin over here. Okay. Hey, let me get this. Oh, shoot. See my hinge pin on my side? Well, it looks like it's almost all the way in. Yeah, but not quite. How about put the tip of the tool on it? Push it. There you go. Okay. Now let's line this up a little straighter. Let's pull the rear end back towards me. Okay. There. Okay. Okay, Jeff, the end pins are good on my side. Okay. If I can get this. Let's go put the rods on. Okay, Jim, hold on a minute there. I'm not sure the telescoping rods are disconnected. Let's pick it up and move it back and turn around, okay? Okay, turn it, what, your way? Your way. Okay. they're not disconnected. I mean, put it down right there. And maybe take it forward a little bit, huh? So it pins out. Okay. Hey, I gotta get around that. Look at that circle right there. Oh yeah, they're bad. We get around there. Hey. Ready? Here we go. Okay. Oh, attaboy. A little more. A little more. Looks like you're gonna have to do the bulk of the work today. Work. Adam, keep it taut. Attaboy. Okay, we're coming up here. 45. Up to about, easy, Jim, easy. Okay. Here, let me help you. Take it easy. Take it easy. Give me a hand. Okay, come on up. We go. Come on. Easy. Good. Not a problem. Okay, just pull. Just stand out real easy. Forget the picture. Just pull real easy right there. Okay? Just pull easy. Well.
Pretty morning there, Sam.
Good morning, Eric. Okay? Hey, we're probably at the walking again. Got loose? Yeah. Let's see here. Houston, the walking hinges are unlocked again, is that right?
They're supposed to be unlocked now, Dave.
That point? It's supposed to be Dave. Oh, okay. Once you see those things unlocked up there in the stone position, it does give you a bit of feeling. Looks like she's coming down okay. No. Hey, can you pull it out a little bit, Jim? What about? That looks good. Okay, that's good. Outrigger handles are, I don't want over there, so. Okay, outrigger cables are loose. What's the, ball? Yeah, what's the glass ball? Right, I got it. Outrigger cable is loose. And on. Okay. Okay, let's come down with the left tape. looks like it's almost all the way in. Yeah, but not quite. How about put the tip of the tool on it and push it? There you go. Okay. Now let's line this up a little straighter. Let's pull the rear end back towards me. Okay. There. Okay. Okay, Jesse, indents are good on my side. Okay. If I can get this oscillatory lights on. Okay, yep. Hold on a minute there. I'm not sure the telescoping rods are disconnected. Let's pick it up and move it back and turn around, okay? Okay, turn it one your way. Your way. Okay. Man, they're not disconnected. So we put it down right there. And maybe take it forward a little bit, huh? So it pins out. The rods, the whole saddle up there is still on. Those pins are out. See what I mean? I think we maybe lift the front end up, can't we? Try. Let me get in there and lift it up maybe here. Let me pull it this way. Wait a minute. Let me twist it this way to give you a little more room. You'll never get in there with a plastic jam.
I could use another one of those.